Your DevOps career is finished if you can't do this. And I say DevOps, I also mean cloud engineering as well. What am I talking about? If you can't do what, then your career is finished. I'm talking about at least an average level of programming, and probably or preferably in Python, because that's what you're going to be tested in. I can tell you now, because I'm in the midst of the hiring process for many different companies over the last few months, and this is the trend in the last year, that almost every company now will ask you to do a programming exercise. Now, it can be something like Codility test. One I was asked to do was a 2-hour exam that would also record my face and my voice. I declined. I said I'm not willing to do that. Or it could be that you've got to do a screen share off of your personal laptop, which is pretty objectionable in my view, but that's what they ask, because they know that you're not in a position really to say otherwise, to say, well, you can refuse them, but you're going to be turning down a lot of opportunities if you refuse every single request for a test. So this is pretty standard now, and although they may say you can program in whatever language you're most comfortable with, at the end of the day, the one language that everybody knows that they'll be able to understand as well is Python. So yeah, like I say, you got to be average level ability in Python. You can't just be basic and plod your way through it, stumble your way through it. That's going to instill doubt. You've got to show pretty almost effortless, pretty streamlined sort of show that you've got to give a performance in Python. Don't stumble your way through it. It means you're not good enough. You need to practice more. Now, the only thing I'll say, the only saving grace, is that unlike software engineering coding exercises, you don't generally have to know leak code. You don't generally have to know data structures and algorithms, and yeah, like I say, leak code stuff. It's not really that standard expected for DevOps. But nevertheless, you've got to show that you know how to do stuff in Python. And now this can be hard, because I would say many, if not most of us, are not using Python every single day. We may be doing code, but probably more likely that's going to be Terraform, it's going to be YAML, it's going to be Bash, and maybe some Python. A few of us may be using Python every single day, particularly if we're using cloud software development kits, particularly if we're doing things in a highly programmatic way to call various APIs from our disparate systems that are in our platform and trying to make everything work. But most of us are not using Python every day, and that means the skills can go rusty. So what this means is you've got to now keep your skills up to date in Python, even if you're not really using it that much at work, or as much as you would like to. You've got to keep your skills going, because when you have an interview, you've got to look good. You can't look rusty. So I actually made a video which I posted recently, and I called it Python Refresher for Interview. So I strongly recommend that. Obviously you need to know Python first. It's not designed to teach you Python from scratch, but I made that video to act as a refresher for myself. I think it can also help you as well. So look, I just want to underline that the main message of this video, well, this audio, this monologue solo podcast, is that really today in 2025, and probably since 6 months ago, your DevOps career, your cloud engineering career as well, is finished if you can't give a good performance in Python. Then you will fall at the first hurdle. Fair or not, and I happen to think it's unfair. I think really should be tested for other things, like a person's character, and are they reliable, are they going to be trustworthy, are they going to be a great team player, are they going to show courage. You know what? Nobody even looks for that anymore. All they want is some kind of flawed technical genius, that they don't really care if the person can't even talk. So this is just the way it is now. Your career's finished if you don't know Python. Strongly recommend that you resurrect that if you're rusty on your Python. I hope you enjoyed this public service announcement. Let me know what you think, and I'll chat with you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.